Hi guys, welcome to the first video of the Mock Mech video series here. To start off with quick introductions, my name is Kyle McEachran, Mid-Market AM, and to spice up the video a little bit, my favorite candy bar is a Reese's Fast Break.
My name is Tara Napstein. I'm also a Mid-Market AM, sitting here in Seattle, and my favorite candy bar would probably be Three Musketeers, which doesn't get a lot of love, so.
Nice choice. I'm Kim Farmer. I'm a mid-market sales manager, and it's the classic Twix.
So to kick off this video series, we're going to have mocks interviewing managers of mocks all throughout our organization. And the theme of this video series is called Examine Your Assumptions. So with examining your assumptions, it gives you the opportunity to go beyond the initial biases of everyday situations and people and really provide a self-reflection period. So with that theme, Tara and I are going to ask Kim some questions. We're going to ping pong back and forth. So do you want to get started?
Yes. So Kim, our first question for you is, when you first hired your first mock, what were the expectations for them, either within the role or our team and culture here at Bing?
Good question. So Kyle was my first hire as mock, but I think my expectations were really based on all the different mocks that I have worked with over the last 9 years at Microsoft. So I've had the benefit of working with a lot of mock talent as well as mentoring mock talent, and so the things that I learned from them have been, they're always really bright, they are not afraid to challenge status quo, and they bring a lot of energy and diversity of ideas, and they kind of push us as an organization. So that was my expectation for Kyle, and it's still my expectation for Tara too.
I was second. I was right after Kyle.
Second question here. Talk about the managing of a mock. Considering this is for the Met community, how does it evolve or change during the mock's first 2 years as an employee?
I think there's definitely a learning curve, but it's not as much about learning the business as it is about learning how to work within a corporate culture. So many of the mocks that we hire, they've had internships, they've been really involved academically with their schools, but this is a first opportunity to really understand how to work at Microsoft or work at a big company, and there's nuances that they're learning, and so I think there's definitely a ramp in understanding how we do business and how to be successful, but once that kind of hurdle is done, you get a lot of benefit from the talent.
I would agree with that. So what have mocks taught you?
I have a couple things. The first one is that feedback is a gift. These two constantly push me to provide feedback, and they both take feedback really well, and I think it's been really refreshing for me, and it's grounded me in how important feedback is. Just really rooted in the idea that we're all trying to get better, and so that would be my second one. There's always room to learn and to grow, and I think they both challenge me in that as well. Yeah.
Great.
Good. Okay.
All right, last question. How does leadership as a whole view mocks? Because I know there's a lot of, speaking of examining your assumptions, there's a lot of assumptions going on with the mock community. So how does leadership view them?
I think there are absolutely a bunch of assumptions. I like to think of myself as a challenger of those assumptions, and that I have two of you on my team, and you guys are great. And so challenging this assumption that mock hires are a lot of work, or mock hires have too much enthusiasm or too much energy, which part of that is true. But I think one of the things that I value and that I know that our leadership team values is that pushing of status quo and bringing in new ideas, both from the perspective of how we can run our business better, but also how we can get better culturally. I think that mock hires are a great way to infuse some cultural diversity into your team and re-engage people and bring good energy to the group. Definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kim. Thank you, Tara. And with that, the first video of the Mock Mech video series is done. Thank you.
Thank